Hello, I'm going to take you through how to use the back end of the website. I'm using on2or4.com as an example here. It can be reached by going in your web browser to on2or4.com. If I want to log into the back end of the website, I'll just append to the end of this a /wp-admin. So let's look at that again, wp-admin. I can just press enter on the keyboard and that should take me to the back end of the website. Now, what you'll do is you'll have a login. If you're actually logged in, it will take you directly there. If not, it'll bring up the login screen. My details are automatically filled in. You'll be able to fill in your username and password. If you tick remember me, that'll make it remember you for future sessions. Okay, so I'll click login. And now you can see your dashboard. Depending on whether you've got administrative rights or whether you're an editor or a contributor, you'll actually find that this menu will be very slightly different, but most people have got the same functionality when it comes to adding content. The content is arrived at by adding a post. So if I hover over post and do all posts, you can see that currently we just have two articles in here. One is the default Hello World article that you get when you install the WordPress backend to your website. Another one here, I've just got Honda C90. Now this is in draft status, which means that I can see it, but anybody on the outside world can't see it. If I want to preview the site as I'm working on the backend, if I hover to the top left where my domain URL is, if I right click on that and open a link in New tab, you'll see at the top of the screen I've now got two tabs and I can switch nicely between the front end of the site and the back end. Any changes that I make here should be reflected when I publish to the website. Currently also you can see the Hello World test post is visible, but because I've got an article which is in draft, that's not visible until I actually publish it. Okay, so let's go on and see how you add new content to the website. So again, from the post category, I'll just click on Add New. This brings me up an interface very similar to a word processor. I've got the title of the post, and I've also got the content area here, which I'll be able to type in anything I want, and including adding pictures as well. If you see just one row of these icons, what you'll need to do is click the last one, which is show or hide the kitchen sink. You can see clicking on that just gives me one row to two rows. Okay, so I'm going to create a test post now, and I'm going to call it Happy Koala. As soon as I've decided on my title, I can move down and click into the content area, but I'd like you to see what happens here where I'm just moving the mouse across, because this will give you the complete, what's called a permalink, and this will be the complete path to your post within that website. So here we go, I'll click into this area, and now we're just looking here. Permalink is now http on2or4.com, which is the main website, /happy-koala. So what the back end of the site has done, it's taken my information that I've put here, my two keywords, happy and koala, and it's added a hyphen in between them. What this means is instead of saying on2or4.com /page 1, page 2, it's giving it a more descriptive title. So let's go in and add a little bit more content. So this is my koala. Okay, I'll just put a colon and move down, just as I would in a word processor. So again, because you've got controls up here, if I wanted my koala to be in bold, I'd click on the letter B after I've highlighted it, and that will now put it bold. If I want to upload an image, I'll just click on the upload and insert button here. Just hovering over it shows that you can add media to it. So you can add videos and images there. Now there are two ways to actually arrive at getting your files into here, we can either click on Select Files, which will bring up a dialog box. Alternatively, I can go down to, for example, my desktop. I can select from my pictures one of the sample pictures, and you can see now why I've chosen koala. Now if I open that, I'm actually opening in a program called EarthAndView. EarthAndView is a fantastic program. It allows me to resize images. Now for a website this would obviously be too large. And if I look down to the bottom left here, you'll see that 1024 by 768, that's going to be much too big for any website. So what I need to do is to resize the image. So I'm going to do Image, Resize or Resample. Now instead of 1024 by 768, I think I want to make it 500 pixels wide. So I'll make sure that we've got pixels selected. I'm going to type in 500 here. And because I've got Preserve Aspect Ratio ticked, I'm now 500 by 375. You can see for every change on the left side here, the width, it's automatically changing the height. And what that's doing is keeping the actual proportion of the image correct. So I'll click on OK there. And now you can see down on the bottom left, I'm sitting at 500 by 375. I'll do File, and I can save it in the original folder or save it as a new folder. I'll save it in the original folder as Koala 2. Now, if I'm saving for the web and I want to optimize my website for SEO purposes, I might decide to call this Happy Koala. So when somebody searches Google for Happy Koalas, they'll actually see Happy Koala written there. Ideally, happykoala.jpg, all lowercase, with a hyphen in the middle. So I'll save that, and you can see that's now appeared in the pictures library. Okay, so I'm going to drag this. I'm going to drag it over the Firefox icon, and I'm going to drop the files into there. Okay, it's now asking me what I'd like to do, and I would like to call it Happy Koala as a title, but this time I'm allowed to write in proper text as opposed to small lowercase with hyphens. Alternate text, you can keep it exactly the same if you want, or you can put an alternative. If you're trying to optimize your site for web search, then you might want to include similar key phrases to the ones that people will search on. Where do I want the person to click on this picture and go to? Well, I'd like them to go nowhere, because if you click that and you just see a larger picture, I don't think that's particularly useful to the user. So I'm going to say none there. What are the dimensions I want? Well, I've already resized the image to what I believe is the optimum here, about 500 wide. So I'll just keep it selected full size. Do I want that image to appear left, right, or center of my text? Well, for now, I'm just going to select center. I'm going to say insert into the post. Now make sure you click insert into post and not save all changes here. So by doing that, I've now uploaded that image to the website. Now, there comes a point where you're going to want to see how this is all rendered within the browser. So the best thing to do is to click Preview. And as I do that, you can see it opens a new tab. And there's my post, Happy Koala. This is my koala. And there is the picture of the koala. Centered in the post, which is the frame from left to right here. And at the correct image proportions that we originally resized. Okay, and I'm going to pause the video there.